Hello everyone here, this is Eason Lee from Think Academy Singapore. Today we are going to talk about place value principles. The place value principles is about multi-digit numbers. If we write down a random multi-digit numbers, for example, 234, it can be represented by the sum of each digit times its value. The 2 on 100th digit worth 100 each, 3 on 10th digit worth 10 each, and 4 on the unit digit worth 1 each. So here we can have a multi-digit number equals to a sum. And more commonly, for number maybe A, B, C, D, it can be written as 1000A, 100B, 10C, and a D. So place value principles is very important to build a connection between a multi-digit number to its digit. It can have some questions both in the calculation part and the number theory part. But in the round 1 test of NMOS, merely it comes into the calculation part. So here I pick two typical questions. One of them comes from the 2021. It's only a 1-point question, but it may be more difficult than the 2-point questions in the year. So please be sure that the difficulty of a question does not connect to its point very close. Things can happen if a 1-point question is more difficult than 2-point or even 3-point questions, and a 3-point questions can be easier than 2-point or even 1-point questions. So when you are coming to exam, make sure just do whatever you can. Do not mind its point. Okay. So this question here, it says that the Peter score was originally AB and the teacher reversed its tens and units digit to BA. Make some differences. This is a very typical question about reversed numbers. That's to say, if we write multi-digit numbers reversed, maybe 234 to 432, right? This is called a reverse number problem. In that case, place value principle is always the best way to solve it. For it, we can easily tell the difference between these two reverse numbers. Let's have a try. The original score AB can be written as 10A and B. And after that will be 10B plus A. We can calculate difference as, there is 9A more, 9B less, so it will be 9A minus 9B, in case 9 times A minus B, right? So how can we get this difference? There are more conditions that, the average score of class is decreased by 2. When we talk about the average score, when we see the average, you should also remember the average comes from the total. So the decrease of average comes from the decrease of total scores, which equals to the difference of Peter's score, right? So the difference of Peter's score will equal to the decrease in average times the total numbers. So how many students are there? There are more than 30 students. So we times a number more than 30, which makes it larger than 16. But exactly how much of it? So what is this value? Now we'll take some number theory analysis. First of all, we realize that this number is multiplier of 9. And multiplier of 2 is an even number, right? We can see from the formula here. As a number is multiplier of both 9 and 2, so it will be multiplier of 18. For a number larger than 60, and the multiplier of 18, we have 72. and 90. Yeah, maybe larger ones, but we can see that if the consequence is 72, then A minus B will be 8, right? But if it's 90, then A minus B will be 10. We all know that A and B are all one-digit numbers from 1 to 9. So the difference cannot be 10, right? So the consequence cannot be 90, of course, not larger. It should be 72. Then we have A minus B will be equal to 8. Still, in one-digit numbers from 1 to 9, be sure that B is not 0, right? So there is only one pair that A should be 9 and B should be 1. And then we have Peter's actual score is 91. Now, this problem is a little bit complex. You should know maybe the place value, the average and the total, and the number series, the multiplier of 9 and 2. Right? So it's interesting and it's difficult when we actually see a question of that difficulty in a NMOS test. Even if it's 1-point question, it's always okay to skip it and maybe you finish it when we return here, finish it after you finish other questions. So have a strategy in test is very important. Then we move to the second question. It comes to 2022. It's a 2-point question. We need to find the average of all 4-digit numbers formed with 2, 3, 7, and 8. Okay, to find the average, we need to know two things. One thing is how many numbers the amount, right? Second, we should know the sum. Then we can calculate the average. First of all, what's the amount? Yeah, it's a counting problem. If we form with 4 different numbers, the first digit has 4 choices. And the second one we have 3 and 2 and 1. It's 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 will be 24. There are 24 different numbers. Okay? Now then, what's its sum? To calculate this sum, we should use the place value principles. So let's calculate it digits by digit. For example, first of all, we calculate the sum of the ones digit. Let's see. We have 4 different numbers, 2, 3, 7, 8, right? So maybe 2 here. In this 24 different numbers, how many of them have a 2 on the ones digit? To solve this problem, maybe we can just write a 2 here. Then we can exchange the former 3 digits. Of course, the initial one we have 3 choices and 2 choices and only 1 choice. So there are 6 different choices in the form of 3 digits, which means that there are 6 different numbers with 2 on its unit digit, right? And it's same for the 3, 7, and 8. Okay? So 2, 3, 7, and 8 occurs each 6 times, right? On ones digit. And it's easy to think that it's all common situation that for the 10th digit, 100th digit, and 1000 digit. So on each digit. Now, since it will be different if there is a number 0 here, it will make the question more difficult, which I'll talk about it later. So these numbers occur 6 times on each digit. So when we calculate its sum, we can calculate that way. For the ones digit, we have these 4 numbers, each occur 6 times, right? And each time it represents 1 each. Its value is 1. So times 1 will be the sum of 1's digit. For the 10th digit, the time it occurs remain the same, but each time their value will be 10. So in 10th digit, it will times 10 to form its actual value. And same will come to the 100th digit and what? And the 1000th digit. So we can write it more simpler like 1 plus 10 plus 100 plus 1000. So sum of each digit times value of each digit makes the sum of all the 24 numbers. And then we can simply divide it by amount to get its average. Now this is for ones. Yeah, it can be solved easier for the 4 here, and this is 20. 20 divided by 4 is 5, so it's 4 5ths. Right. So this is a very interesting question that use our place value principles to calculate. Also, it refers something about counting. Yeah, for this question only, we have a more simple way. Just maybe we can just calculate the average of 2, 3, 7, 8, and the average of this 4 is 5. So the average of all numbers will have 5s on each digit. Yeah, this is a more easier way for these questions, but not for all questions. For example, if we change the number here to 2 here to 0, this will be more difficult questions. You cannot just calculate the average number of these 4 numbers on each digit. 4, 0 cannot be the initial digit. So maybe you can think about this one. If we want to calculate the average of 4-digit formula with 0, 3, 7, and 8, then what is the consequence? What is the average? Okay, now that's all for today. Thank you. I will see you tomorrow.